Good evening, friends, and welcome to yet another awesome session of Mindful Living. We truly appreciate your taking out time and joining the session today. Like all sessions of Mindful Living, our session today is guaranteed to improve your quality of life. But before we dive into the session, I will request you to respond to few of these questions that are coming up on the screen by typing yes wherever they are applicable. Type Y if you think you work very hard but still don't get the results that you think you deserve, or you're not getting the breakthrough in your career. Do you struggle to make time for yourself? Please type Y in the chat if this is true for you. Do you or someone you know works extremely hard, but the finances never improve, irrespective of how hard you work? Please type Y. Do you struggle in navigating relationships with family, colleagues, or bosses? Do you or someone you know wants to beat stress, anxiety, depression, anger, guilt, shame, fear, but don't know how to do? Please type Y for every statement that holds true for you. There can be more than one Y. Do you want to break free from living a life where the same patterns keep repeating? Do you find it difficult to regulate your emotions? Do you desire to improve the destiny of your family? Do you want to make your life wonderful and abundant? Friends, if the answer to any of these questions has been yes, then you are at the right place at the right time. Today in the session, I'm going to share with you about the magical success rituals which have helped me move from a place of living in stress, constantly worrying, anxious, to feeling abundant, joyful, and constantly growing in my life. The answer to all those questions was a yes for me in my past life, in my previous life, before I started mindful living. And the breakthrough for me happened when these rituals fell in place for me. And together, mindfulness, attitude of gratitude, ho'oponopono, incantations, and champions mindset truly created magic in our life. Rituals are powerful daily habits which help us elevate our life to a new level. It is not something that you do once in a week, once in a month, or once in a year. It is something that we do consistently, and over a period of time, they have powerful compounding effect, and our life keeps getting better and better all the time. And yeah, the reason I love these rituals is because they help me move from a low energy state to a high energy state. Anything below 200 is a low energy state, and anything above 200 is the high energy state. And the challenge with being in a low energy state is that it keeps you trapped there. It doesn't let you come up and enjoy life. So all these struggles, all the challenges in the life keep repeating themselves, as long we are operating from a low energy state. And mindfulness and gratitude are two powerful yet very simple practices which help me break through this level of 200 and operate at the higher energy levels. I also realize that uh, operating out of a high energy level helps in effortless success happening, helps in serendipity, helps in life becoming smooth, harmonious, and so many other things. So this was one of the first benefits that I got from practicing the magical rituals. Second, I realized is that it changed my state of being. Earlier, whenever I would not get desired results, what I would compensate was by working more, working harder, working longer hours. And what I realized was, I reached a point that irrespective of how hard I was working, the results that I was getting were not matching up. And I realized that the reason for that was the state of being I was operating in. I was operating from a state where I was feeling angry, frustrated, irritated, and then whatever in that state of mind, in that mindset I was operating, it was not giving me the results that I wanted. So we can understand state of being by thinking of the mud in a pot. If that mud is dry, not nourished, then irrespective of how many seeds you put in that, the flowers or the trees will not plant. But if the mud is moist, has got fertilizer, is watered well, the seeds get the sunlight, then the beautiful trees and flowers come from that. So that is the state of being. So this magical practices, these rituals help in making our state of being fertile, so that whatever we are doing, with very less effort, we get magnificent results. Another reason I love these rituals is because they are simple and they offer a very high return on time invested. Most of us are very busy professionals. We have very busy lives, and anything complex tends to put off many people. So these rituals are simple, and depending on the time available that is available with you, 10 minutes to 30 minutes to an hour, you can incorporate it easily in your life. And sometimes you can do it on the go also, so it's very portable. So these are the reasons I really found that very practical, and I love. But one question I get from people is, okay, does it really work? This sounds too good to be true. And it's not only my experience that it works, but it's been the experience of many participants who have been part of these workshops in the past, who have benefited from it. And also, there are many more who didn't attend the workshop but have done these courses from other teachers, and they have found the benefit. That net is full of testimonials of people who have practiced gratitude or mindfulness or incantations and benefited intensely. These are few people from the mindful living community. The first one is Himanshu. He says, thank you for introducing me to magical world. My evenings and mornings have been reinvented. Then Manojji says that it's really wonderful. You have touched me from inner core, and a lot of these practices will remain with me. And Richard also has experienced many positive experience, and there are many more who have benefited. In my own case, I have benefited immensely by practicing these rituals. This is a screenshot of a message I got from my bank in 2019. There is a timestamp, date stamp on this, that my bank balance is zero. This was the time when I had just started off in my business, and my outflows were more than my inflows, and eventually my bank account turned dry. But couple of years later in 2023, this is a picture of me holidaying with my family in Europe. This is particularly in London. And then in 24, I paid the highest ever income tax in my life. People can lie about their income, but they can't lie about the tax they pay. And then I turned an author, published my book, and also invited by IIM Nagpur to teach students on mindfulness. So the journey of my journey has been very, very fascinating. For those of you who may be watching this video or attending our session for the first time, my name is Ashish Kumar, and I'm the founder of Mindful Living. By education, I'm an MBA from Symbiosis Pune, a cost accountant and fellow of Life Management Institute, USA. I'm a certified mindfulness meditation teacher, trainer, and coach. And in my previous life, I worked with organizations like Xerox, Tata AIA Life Insurance, Futures and Rally, and Marsh India, amongst other organizations. As we begin the session today, I would urge you to keep the camera on so that you can derive the maximum benefit from the session. It's much better looking at your beautiful faces rather than the black tiles that we have. Hello, Navinji. And stay actively engaged using the reactions button. Show love if there are thumbs up if something resonates with you, and feel free to raise your hand to ask any question. So on that note, we dive deep into the session today, beginning with the first practice, that is mindfulness. Mindfulness is a technique which is based on the Vipassana meditation taught by Gautam Buddha about 2,500 years ago. What what mindfulness is? It involves keeping one's complete attention to the experience that we are having on a moment to moment basis in an open and non judgmental way. What This may sound like a lot of English, but let us break this definition into the five components to have a better understanding of what mindfulness is. It says keeping our complete attention. So, attention is the foundation of mindfulness. Attention means our ability to hold our thoughts on some topic that we want to study or work on for as long as we want. It can also be understood better by looking at the example of light. If the light is there in a room, it is scattered and it provides light. But laser, when it is pointed like a laser, it can cut through metal also. So similarly, attention, if it is distracted, we'll be able to do less work. But when it is focused, we can cut through the most complex problems and we can achieve a lot. The second component is about awareness, which is defocused attention, awareness of our thoughts, our emotions, what we are feeling. And once we start becoming aware of our thoughts and emotions, we gradually develop the intelligence to tune into the thoughts and emotions of others. And this then becomes the foundation for emotional intelligence. And as we grow in our career, it is 85% emotional intelligence that is credited for success rather than the technical competence. Technical competence can help us get through first 5, 10 years of our career. Beyond that, it is emotional intelligence that helps us uh, get further in our career. Next is acceptance. Very misunderstood concept. People think acceptance is about being passive, about being low energy, but it is acceptance of the consciousness that is beyond our intelligence and which runs this entire universe. Accepting change, accepting ourselves as we are, accepting things are beyond our control, accepting that there is limited control over what I can do, and accepting that results may be out of my control. So this works at many different levels. Very, very powerful concept. Uh, then the next one is ego identification, which is at the root cause of all the conflicts that we have. It is the labels that we put on ourselves and others, whether this is nationality, whether I'm an Indian or Pakistani, American or European, or by age, by gender. There are so many different labels we put, by traits, you're stupid, you are intelligent. And each label that we put determines the trajectory of our life. It determines our behavior and the trajectory of our life. So becoming mindful of the labels we are putting on ourselves and others is what this fourth component is. And the final one is choice, which is the superpower that we have. By choosing to attend this session today, you have made a statement, that you want to elevate the quality of your life. By choosing to pay attention to what is being discussed, you are making a choice to be here and derive maximum benefit. So each day, each moment, there are multiple choices that we make either consciously or unconsciously. And this is all about replacing unconscious choices with conscious choices and directing our destiny in a direction that we want rather than living a conditioned life uh, where we are being programmed by somebody else, whether it is media, newspapers, families, school, to live a life that they would like us to live. So these are the components of mindfulness. And this has become very popular. Even though it's an ancient practice, this is in recent years become very popular. And one of the examples I would like to share is of Mark Bertolini, who was the ex-chairman of 8 Now. It so happened that Mark had a severe skiing accident, and he fractured his neck and spine in multiple places. And the pain was unbearable. And then he was put on opioids to deal with the pain. And opioids are depressive. So he reached a point of time where he wanted to commit suicide. And then, at the suggestion of his wife, he took up yoga and meditation. And gradually, he was weaned off completely from the opioids. Notice that his pain did not go away, but his ability to deal with the pain went up. He became mindful of the pain. He did not identify with the pain, and he detached himself from the pain by being mindful. And when you have something that is so beneficial, you want to introduce it to other people. So he introduced the practice of mindfulness and yoga to over 50,000 employees in Etna. Some 13,000 employees went through the one or more courses on yoga and mindfulness. And overall, it had a very salutary impact on the performance of the organization. And all of this is very well documented in his book, Mission Driven Leadership. And so I've shared this as a reference here with you. And Mark Bertolini clearly says this was not the only reason that the profits went up, but over a 7-year period, the EPS earning per share of Aetna went up by 124%. And notice this is a Fortune 50 company. It is so large. It is not a startup for the profits to grow like that. But the share price went up by 500%. So this practice, when done either personally or professionally, has tremendous benefits. And I'll pause here to see if you have any quick questions or comments before we dive into a practice of mindfulness, so that you can understand what is it that you can experience what is it that we are talking about. But before we dive into the practice, any quick questions or comments? How is this going for you? Navinji, no identification, like he didn't identify with the pain, मैं मर रहा हूं ऐसा नहीं, मतलब you can detach yourself on that. So like they say, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. So you detach from the pain and observe it, that it is there. His pain is, even if there are many videos of Mark Bertolini where he's speaking, he's invited to speak, and you can see that his arm is stiff and he's still under pain, but he fears it. He does not identify with it. It is like saying that, if I have got diabetes, I am a diabetic. I'm not a diabetic. I'm a person who's got diabetic. So not identifying with the disease, or I'm a heart patient or anything like that. You don't identify with the condition. I am depressed. I am sad. You're not sad. You're experiencing sadness. You're experiencing depression. So that's what it is. So good. Any other? All right. So now I invite you for a short practice of mindfulness, for you to experience how this can help you reduce your stress and be more productive at work. What I would urge you to do is just make a note on a scale of 0 to 10. How stressed are you feeling right now? If you are feeling no stress, then it's 0. If you're highly stressed, 10, or somewhere in between. You don't have to share that score with us, but just make a note of it. And then after we are done with the exercise, then we will take a stock again. So on that note, I invite you to sit straight, neck and back in a straight line. Eyes gently closed, palms on your laps, on your lap facing upwards, chin parallel to the ground. And now bring your attention, entire attention, to the area at the entrance of your nostrils. And observe every breath that is coming in and every breath that is moving out. Incoming breath, outgoing breath, incoming breath, outgoing breath. This practice is not about regulating breath, but just observing the breath as it is. Your breath may be shallow or deep. Just observe as it is. Your breath may be coming in from left nostril or right nostril or both the nostrils. It doesn't matter. Just observe your breath as it is. Continue to breathe. It is possible that you may find that the mind wanders from time to time. Every time you find that your mind has wandered away, gently, very gently, with compassion, bring it back to focus on the breath once again. In a day, we normally breathe about 25,000 times, but we hardly breathe consciously. This is our chance to enjoy the juicy, delicious breath that we are inhaling and be grateful that there is always oxygen for us to take the next breath. Continue to breathe. Continue to observe every breath that is coming in and every breath that is moving out. In a couple of seconds from now, we will be coming to the end of this practice. Continue to breathe. Consider setting an intention that this practice of being mindful will help you and everyone you come in contact with. Thank you for practicing mindfulness with me. And whenever you're comfortable, you will gently open your eyes. You may choose to stay with the feeling for a couple of seconds more. And once you're ready, please type in the chat how stressed you are feeling now. So you had a stress score earlier from 0 to 10. What is your stress score now? We don't need to know the score, but by how much it has reduced. If it was 8 earlier and 5 now, it's reduced by 3. Or if it was 5 earlier, 1 now, it is reduced by 4. Or it was 8 earlier, 7 now, it is reduced by 1. So just give us 40%, 30%. Thank you. Thank you. And stress is not only a wellness parameter, it also affects our productivity, it affects our functioning, it affects our thinking, quality of decisions, everything. And that is why it has become so popular with the corporate professionals today. Everybody else, Bhavna, Ashish, Sai, Mridula, Anshuji, Shalu, please share the number by which your stress level is reduced. And so that is what the practice of mindfulness is. And in the workshop that we have put together today, what we are sharing is in brief about the 5 magical rituals. But we've put together a workshop where we'll be diving deep into each one of these rituals. And in that workshop, you will explore more on how to build your attention, how to build your awareness, how to exercise your choice, create your destiny more professionally. So that is what mindfulness is. And now the next one, an extremely powerful one, is attitude of gratitude. Gratitude is a strategy followed by many successful people across the world. Here, this is an article from CNBC, which says that Ariana Huffington, Tony Robbins is considered to be one of the foremost thinkers in the world. Oprah Winfrey, all use gratitude as a strategy for their growth. For those of some of you may be familiar with the life of Oprah Winfrey, but for those who are not very familiar, I would like to share that Oprah Winfrey was born to an unwed mother on a farm in Central America, and she was abused as a child. So from that kind of background, from that kind of challenges she had in her life, she grew in her career, and today worth more than $3 billion, which is about 25,000 crores. And once somebody asked her, Oprah, it's very easy for you to be grateful because you've got everything in life. And what Oprah said was so beautiful. She said, it's not because I have got everything I'm grateful, but because I'm grateful, I have got everything. So being grateful, being thankful is a very, very powerful practice. And whenever I talk about gratitude, people say, Ashish, I'm grateful. And that is, nobody likes to think of themselves as ungrateful. But, there is something which is called a gratitude gap. And that is that while 90% of the people feel thankful, only about 50% of the people express their gratitude. And that result is because of many reasons. We feel that, we will be perceived as soft, or, I'll be taken as complacent, etc. And sometimes we just take things for granted, like we have got our 2 hands, 2 legs. So we don't really feel grateful for having hands or legs. But look at Nick Vujicic, he was born without hands and without legs. And today he's one of the top rated motivational speakers across the world. And he lives a very full life. So we tend to take our life for granted. 250 people who were on the or 249 people who were on the plane, they were when they took off, they didn't know that this was the last 30 seconds of their life. But many of us, we live life as if it's always going to be there. We never know when it's going to be sniffed off. Sanjay Kapoor, one bee came and he had a heart attack, and this life is so fragile. So are we grateful for our breath, for our hands, for our life? These are the things we need to consider. And saying thank you, just saying thank you, thank you, thank you is such a powerful prayer. I talked about this earlier. And now we will do a small practice of gratitude, something which I learned from my teacher Nitya Shanti, which is lotus of gratitude. So we will hold our hands like this, like a lotus bud, and think of one thing that I am grateful for, and then open the bud. And then, once we have thought of all the 10 things, we will have a nice lotus bud in our hand. And it could be something like I'm alive, I'm with my family, anything. There are so many things to be grateful for. The fact that there is electricity, there is Zoom, there is technology which is making this session possible. Grateful that you have had time to join the session today. It could be anything. So think about it silently in your mind. And as you think of one thing, open one finger, and then eventually we will have a nice lotus flower. And once you're done, place your hands on your heart and thank Mother Earth for everything that it provides us, the food, the water, the air that sustains the life in us and around us. Thank you, friends, for this brief practice of gratitude. This is best done first thing in the morning or when you go to bed at night. Such a simple practice takes less than 10 seconds. Just remembering 10 things that we are grateful for elevates our mood, elevates our consciousness, elevates our spiritual quotient. And these are the kind of practices that we talk about in the workshop. How can we use gratitude for growth in our career, in our business, for improving our relationships, for whether in personal, professional, improving our health. We have very targeted gratitude practices for each of these, and they're really powerful, as you have seen from the many testimonials that we have shared with you. Now, moving on to the third one, which is Ho'oponopono, very simple and very powerful practice. This was started by Dr. Hewlin, gentleman in the cap on the right. And this is well documented in the book Zero Limits, and I've again shared this as a reference resource for you. So Dr. Hewlin got an assignment in a psychiatric ward in a hospital in Hawaii. And this ward had criminally insane, mentally sick patients. And that ward was like crazy people. The patients used to be in chains, and the staff used to be very scared to go there because of the attacks they would have. And just by practicing Ho'oponopono over a period of time, not only the patients recovered fully, but eventually they were discharged one by one. And over a period of time, the hospital had to shut down the ward. That's the kind of magical practice Ho'oponopono is. And Dr. Joe Vitale found out about Dr. Hewlin, and then he reached out to him, and then he made this practice popular, this Hawaiian practice popular all over the world. And now people use it for different things, for improving their relationships, for material success, career success, stocks, everything. So basically, Ho means to cause, and Pono Pono means perfection. And Ho'oponopono is a problem-solving process that takes place entirely within oneself. Earlier, it required people to get together and do the practice of things, thank you and sorry to each other. But now it is, can be done independent of people getting together. The basic principle of Ho'oponopono is that we are 100% responsible for everything that we are experiencing. So Dr. Hewlin mentions that, if he got assigned to that psychiatric ward which had mentally sick criminal patients, uh, there's something in him that caused him to be there. So he took responsibility for that. Then he, did the Ho'oponopono prayer. He took charge for that rather than blaming, why have I got here, or feeling stuck in low energy. He took responsibility and then he chanted and everything worked out well. So the practice is very simple. And sometimes people miss it. How can something so simple be so effective? But it has got two most powerful energies working in this prayer. One is forgiveness, and the second is gratitude, love, and mercy. To my mind, there is nothing which is more powerful than this. And you can say in any order, I am sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Uh, so you can take the name of the person. Just for example, I'm taking the name of Naveenji. Naveenji, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Or I can take the name of Venkateshwar. Venkateshwar, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. You can do it for the vehicles. You can do it for the. So whenever this is a practice, whenever I board a flight, I do it for the plane. I do it for the pilots. I do it for the the passengers. Everybody just keep doing thank you, saying thank you and sorry to people, to things, to everything, your devices, computer, phone. You can do it for anybody. So that's the practice of Ho'oponopono. You can do, say, thank you, money, for material riches, and just keep saying thank you and sorry. Very, very powerful. Now we come to incantations, which is repetition of positive statements to ourselves till they become a part of us. This is a part of rewiring our brain. And why this is important is because we have over 50,000 thoughts crossing our mind every day, and 90% of them are in the subconscious mind and they're repetitive. So what this means is we are living the same life, day to day, without really having an opportunity to examine our thoughts and the reframe or recreate or reset our life. And how do we know what's going on in our mind is when we see the results. The top part of the iceberg is the results that we experience in our life. So that's what we can see. We really can't see the thoughts which are there or the iceberg which is below the water, but we can see the results. So once we see the results, and if they are too overlacking, it's fine. We keep reaffirming them. But if they're not too overlacking, we recreate, the affirmations and incantations and change the impact they have on our lives. Um, and we can do this for all important areas of in our life: health, fitness, diet, relationships, recreation, anything. And this is a testimonial from a lady who was a part of our first program that we did. And her daughter suddenly fell very sick, and she reached out to me, and I gave her an affirmation. And she, just kept chanting that affirmation. And then she shared this video. We were not playing the video, but you can see what she said. That she repeated the affirmation, and her daughter got well immediately. So this works, and I have been doing this for over 10 years now. I have my own favorite affirmations, and we help you make your own affirmations depending on which area of your life do you want to work in. Some of my favorite ones, and these are generic ones, but you can have your own. And this is what we do in the workshop: help you identify the challenge or the result you want to achieve, and then make the ones which will help you. So some few of my favorite ones are: I am enough, I am doing enough, I have more than enough, I have abundance of time, I am super duper happy with myself, I am free from the memories that created fear and doubt in me. I sleep peacefully and wake up joyfully. I am full of energy and enthusiasm. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. This is my, most favorite mantra, which I write, which I chant, which I just keep repeating, and my life keeps getting better and better every day in every way. And the last one is about champions mindset practices. This is not something which we are going to talk about here. This is something which we cover in a workshop, so I'll leave that out for now. But the point is, if you pick up any one or all of these practices, even if you pick up one, you will gradually get drawn to all the good in your life, and your life will become a virtuous upward spiral where your life will keep getting better and better every day in every way. And some people ask me, Ashish, how much time should we devote to doing these practices? And my answer to them is not so much about time, but about consistency in practice. A commitment to daily practice is very important, and it has got a snowballing effect. So initially, you may find the benefits are minimal and very subtle, and you may not really notice this. But as you keep practicing them, it has got a snowballing effect, and over a period of time it really multiplies into very big results. So I'll pause here to see if you have any questions or comments before we share more about the workshop. Anything that resonated with you, anything that you like, anything that you have a doubt about, you want to clarify, any comments?
Ashish, about the gratitude, there are n number of, you can keep preparing a list and you will not finish the book. There's so many things to be grateful to the Almighty, to everybody. I mean, the way
Yes,
we live
yes.
our life, I think we only concentrate on what we don't have.
Yeah,
If we start concentrating what we have, then there is a whole lot of the pages of the book you can complete.
I completely agree with you,
So
Naveen.
that is the power of gratitude.
Yes, yes, completely agree with you. It's very powerful practice, also helps us rewire our brain. And it's a fact that there are more things going right in our lives than they're wrong. But because what is not going right, it's got so much energy and it pricks us so much, it gets all of our attention. But what is right, we take for granted. Like we are living, we take this for granted. But it's not to be taken for. We need to be grateful for everything. Yeah, how to change? Yeah, Shalu, thanks for that question. So there are each of these practices, mindfulness, paying attention to our thoughts by incantation or by being grateful for what is going right. Each of these practices will help you change the hardwire. Yeah, it takes consistent practice, Shalu. It takes consistent practice. If the intention is there and with consistent practice, the results are about to come. Only if we are doing it mechanically, without faith or without trust, then we have a challenge. Thank you for asking that. So if it is okay, then I'll move on. And so this is another testimonial that we got from Rutu. And all these testimonials are from people in the mindful living community, and most of you I know are members of the mindful living community. And she says that this MSR program was a wonderful experience, created wonders for her, and her life has changed dramatically, and she's now buying a new home. So that is what it is. And now I'll pause. I'd like you to pause here and breathe deeply and imagine this is 14th of June 2026, and you have devoted yourself to following these success rituals, being mindful, being grateful, doing your incantations, hoponopono, and champions practices, and you have got what you were seeking, whether it's a promotion or career growth in business, feeling fulfilled yourself, um, or international holidays, new home, whatever you're seeking. You have practiced these rituals and you have got that. So, how are you feeling now? Visualize yourself enjoying that, enjoying your commitment, the results of your commitment to practicing these rituals daily. How are you celebrating? What are people coming and saying to you? What are you wearing? What are you feeling? Everything that we have shared with you is backed by science. It's not woolly, fluffy stuff. Have faith that you can change your destiny and the destiny of your family. And on that note, I invite you to come back to the present and share with us in the chat how this brief visualization felt for you. What did you see yourself doing? How did you feel? Can even unmute yourself and share. Thank you, friends, for taking out time and joining the session of Magical Success Rituals today. I wish you a very happy weekend and a great week ahead. Stay in touch, be happy, take care of yourself. Bye bye. Thank you.